Welcome to What in the Smut podcast.
Where the books are horny and so are we. I'm Elle.
And I'm Kay. So, I finally dug myself out from the massive amounts of snow. I've been scrolling the Smutverse a little bit. What's going on?
We're going to keep it light this week.
I love that. I need something light.
So let's talk about the author who posted on social media, quote, "I just wrote a romantasy novel, but I had not read one before. Honestly, I think most of them are cringe as fuck." She goes on to say that she started Quicksilver to see what the hype was and was disappointed. And the last romance novel she read was It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover.
Yeah. Can that even be considered?
I don't think that counts as a romance novel.
No. I don't think so either.
She rounds out this incredible post with, "Am I the only one who doesn't enjoy reading romance but loves writing it?"
Yes, you are, in fact.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't understand. And she got absolutely flamed in the comments. But obviously, the ratio was incredible. It was like 29 likes to over 600 comments. But she was super dismissive about the fact that she got flamed. Her response to all of the criticism was, "If y'all aren't my audience, I think I'm okay."
But you cannot dismiss an entire genre
And then write
it and expect people to be okay with the fact that you're basically saying, I think this is shit, but here, I'll write some shit for you.
Yes.
No, I don't like that at all.
It's crazy. And also, it is wild to me. There's a lot of discourse, I feel like, about, whether authors should review other books, whether, what that line is between colleague and a hobby that you also enjoy doing.
Yeah.
But I firmly believe that you cannot write good romance if you do not read romance.
You can't write, period, if you're
If
not
you don't
reading.
read.
So,
Yeah.
people become better writers by taking in more stories.
Yes.
It shapes your perspective. It shapes your understanding of how the language works. But no. How can you write a romantasy and have never read one before?
I don't understand.
There are very specific things that need to be included.
Yes. Romance is pretty straightforward in happily ever after is required for it to be a romance, which already makes you not qualified to write romance if you think It Ends With Us is a romance. That you've already failed. Failed because you don't understand the contract that you are making with your readers if you say this is a romance novel. There's something so off-putting about this. I think you summed it up perfectly of I think this is shit. Here, I'll write some shit for you.
Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like it. And it sounds like nobody else did either. And I mean, here's the thing. People will say that romance novels are, again, not intellectual or whatnot. However, people will also say that reality television is trash.
Yes.
The people that read romance novels and consume romance novels at such a rate, and the people that watch reality television, again, consume that. There is a percentage of those folks that are very well educated. If you see the statistics for people that maybe not so much anymore, but back in its prime, watched The Bachelor.
Oh, yeah.
It was women in their 30s with master's degrees. They are kind of the release of
I can turn my brain off.
But then also it makes me turn it on in a different way because it's not saying I can turn my brain off because this is stupid and useless and whatnot. I don't know.
It's kind of like a social experiment. I feel I was literally trying to explain this about why I love watching Love is Blind. Because there's something about one, it's such an interesting compression of so many different ways in which your relationship can be tested, like in such a short period of time, that it's like microdosing like conflict in a way where you're like, that's not how I would handle it. Or my partner wouldn't react that way. Or like, that's exactly how I would handle that. Her partner didn't react the correct way. Like there's so many different like perspectives all suddenly all at once. And you get to like kind of like experience each and every one of them. And it's like almost like a sanity check for me of like, yep, my relationship is healthy and normal. And like, there are some examples that I see of like people handling conflict very well in reality TV, like, regardless of all of like the problematic, like, infrastructure that goes around reality TV and like the edit and things getting taken out of context and all of that. Like, I know. Okay, I know. But like, I do think that there is something extremely like validating and challenging in watching and consuming that type of content. In the same way that reading romance will like introduce you to different ways of experiencing pleasure, different ways of approaching conflict, different ways of living your life. And like it's so important to be able to empathize with other people. And if you're going to write that content, you need to have an understanding of the people who are reading it. And the fact that
100%.
this person just does not, ugh. Now, let's talk about a book that has a very specific audience, and I'm not sure it's me. Okay?
Well, okay. So this week we're reading Over a Barrel and Down a Peg by the queen herself, Vera Valentine.
We love
Now,
you, Vera.
We love Vera Valentine. Vera Valentine can do no wrong. However, here's the thing, listeners. I came upon this book last year around St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
And I read it last year on St. Patrick's Day. Now, we were only a couple episodes in, and I read it, and we were slated to do this one last year. And I reached out to Elle, and I was like, oh, no, we can't do this with like episode 3 or whatnot.
No. It was early in the What in the Smut podcast, and neither you nor us were prepared to have this conversation.
No, not at all. I don't know that I'm still prepared. And I had said to Elle offline that, in the past year, I've learned a lot about myself. I've become much more comfortable talking about pretty much everything.
True.
And though I've learned a lot about myself, some things have not changed. And my take on this book is one of those things. So the synopsis says, when fuckboy Tucker attempts to talk his new dating app girlfriend into doing something she's not keen on, the tables are about to turn on the pain in the ass in a big way. Really, he ought to know better than to mutter poorly worded wishes out loud on St. Patrick's Day, particularly when 2 pairs of pointed ears are listening nearby. He's about to learn revenge is a dish best served over a barrel and down a peg, complete with a heaping side of hash brown casserole.
If you think you know where this story is going, you don't.
No.
Yeah. And I will say, normally I kind of breeze past the content warnings because I don't like to be spoiled, in the sense of like, I think also it's better for the content if I am completely caught off guard by what I'm about to experience. And I was unable to breeze past the content warnings because it was so long that in my attempts to skip it, I ended up catching the tail end of it, and then I had to go back. And I'm really glad that I wasn't caught off guard by what was presented to us in this story.
There are so many parts of this story that I'm like, oh, Elle's gonna hate that. Elle's gonna hate that. She might like that part of it, but
yeah, there was a lot.
Where are you gonna put this one on our smut scale?
Yeah, this is a 4.
Yeah, hard 4.
I think this is a hard 4. There's what I would call dubious consent for sure. We have 3 participants. We have a lot of different things going on. However, I don't think this gets elevated to a 5 because the logistics were very clearly spelled out.
Very
I
clear,
never questioned.
There was plot, like basic kind of. basically, like, this guy is the worst, and she's
He
teaching
is
him a
the
lesson.
worst.
That's the plot.
Yeah, that's true. So there's a little, yeah.
So it's not quite that icky sticky tangle. It's also not necessarily a non-con situation because they are
No.
asking for consent consistently.
Yes. And
However, he's kind
give
of
it.
coerced, but like also not.
Yeah, it's hard to explain and like, I don't know. It still feels dubious.
Oh yeah.
It's certainly not
Well,
non-con.
honestly, with leprechauns involved, they're a dubious being.
That is fair. Although Vera is very clear in the trigger warnings that magic does not play a role in the dubious consent.
That's true.
So, Over a Barrel and Down a Peg is a male, female, paranormal ish romance short story between two secretly otherworldly creatures and one hapless human with some pretty vile ideologies rattling around in his brain. If you're upset by hard right talking points and biases, please know that our main character has guzzled that particular unbranded colorful drink and starts the story entirely unrepentant and entitled. He's not exactly redeemed by the end, but canonically he's on his way there by the end with a little, quote, help from his new leprechaun friends. Okay.
Again, Vera can do no wrong because, like,
yes,
you do hate this main character.
God, I hate this.
You can
man.
picture people that have this thought process. It's basically like 75% of men with a microphone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Except for the basement yard men, because they are hilarious and very much.
We would like them to keep their microphones, pretty please.
Yes. They bring me a lot of joy.
Oh my gosh. For the actual trigger warnings, which frankly, to me, honestly, the hard right talking points were the most important of the trigger warnings.
Mm-hmm.
But this story contains a character with problematic ideologies, including rampant misogyny, poor bashing, leftist/liberal bashing, homophobia, etc. Sorta dubcon, more self-delusion, magic doesn't play a role in it. By awakening, pegging, decaf coffee, humiliation, cuckolding, cleanup on aisle, female main character after said cuckolding, numerous OSHA and food safety violations, food used during spicy time. Don't worry, nothing's wasted. Side note, I wish it had been wasted. BDSM-esque power exchange/roles, physical coercion, one male pushing, holding, and shoving the other male around, and name-calling. As always, if you have any questions or concerns about story content, you're more than welcome to contact Vera Valentine on social media for clarification. Your comfort is way more important to me than page reads, she says.
She is a queen.
She is a queen. How did the reviews shake out on this one?
This has a 3.9 on Amazon and a 3.7 on Goodreads. Now, when I tried to pull reviews for this one on Amazon, there are no 1-star reviews, which is wild behavior to me.
That is crazy.
So the 1-star,
did everyone go in eyes wide open? What? Every single book we've
4s and 5s. 4s and 5s.
I mean,
Amazon.
I'm not saying that Vera doesn't deserve it. I'm just, most of the time, people find themselves in a situation that they got themselves into and don't like, and then they tell the world about it, and I'm shocked that this was not one of them.
Yeah, no. There's 114 reviews or ratings, at least, on Amazon, and they were 4s and 5s for the reviews. But a 5-star on Amazon says magically delicious. Ah, Vera, you never disappoint. A quick, dirty fling never sounded so good. Why am I hungry for well-stuffed hash browns? The mystery continues. Highly recommend. Now, we need to remind ourselves that we do not kink shame.
No.
We can kink ask why.
I'm not kink shaming at all. I'm wildly impressed. I guess. Just shout out to the kinky people out there.
This was past my level of kink, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. A 4-star says short and fun and filthy. Of all days for me to have eaten hash browns for breakfast.
That's hilarious.
This book was recommended to me by one of my book besties. She'd never steer me wrong. All I can say is it was filthy and magically delicious, and I'm glad I read it because Vera Valentine.
I mean, that's a mood. I'll give you that. 4-star from Goodreads says, "This is where I'd make a pegging joke, but I don't know if you can take it."
Hilarious.
Very good. Lucky Charms meets hash brown casserole. Leprechauns who excrete gold fluids and butt stuff. BRB going to Cracker Barrel. And finally, a 1-star on Goodreads says, "Why did they have to get the hash browns involved?" Sad face.
I mean, now, dear listeners, if you're wondering why so many of these reviews have something referencing hash browns, stick around and we will let you know. As always, we will do a full rundown of the plot. So if you want to give Vera her page reads, make sure you read the trigger warnings first. And then come on back and we will be right here waiting for you.
Oh boy.
You ready to get into it?
Let's get into it, because for all of the warnings,
Yep. You were still not prepared.
I was still not prepared.
And I even think I prepared you a little bit.
You did. You absolutely did.
But also, when we first started this and I originally had told you about it, I don't think I was even comfortable talking about pegging, period.
No.
Like, we weren't there yet in our journey.
We were so vanilla.
Yeah.
A year ago.
Very, very naive a year ago. Now, pegging is definitely this book further cemented how not dominant I am.
That's hilarious, because I was like, I could employ some of these.
And I was like, I don't ever want to do that ever. So it did. I've learned a lot about myself, and some things this just has really nailed it down for me.
I think that's great. I think that it's good that despite how much we've learned about ourselves, or because of how much we've learned about ourselves, we've cemented more and more of what we like and what we don't like. And that is the beauty of romance.
Absolutely.
And erotica. I did find the dedication left me with more questions than answers, because there's a lot here.
Yeah.
And it's for a lot of people. For everyone that's ever been accused of being less than country fresh and doesn't give a damn. For the marketing team of a certain breakfast restaurant chain that filled my inbox with enough low-hanging fruit that I made this filthy sangria without breaking a sweat. We won't name names. Oh, and also for the OG, Brad's wife. If you know, you know.
I don't know, and I want to know. Who is Brad?
I want to know.
What's with his wife?
Vera for clarification.
Yeah, we might need to. It also says, for legal purposes, this book is a parody that takes place in a Southern-themed breakfast restaurant called the Country Barrel. I think that you can glean where that may actually be. There's a lot. Let's get started.
All right, let's start with how absolutely vile our main character, Tucker, is.
Yeah.
This was what made this read difficult for me more than anything else.
Yeah.
I literally had to put it down after the first page because I was like, I don't know if I can make it through this. Like, I've known men like this. Like, this is too real. This is too real. So we meet Donna and Tucker. So Donna is enjoying a cup of tea, a stubborn habit of hers, despite my not so gentle suggestion that she enjoy a cup of black coffee the way I did every morning. I was a man, though, and we needed a strong cup to start our day. I guess her delicate feminine body probably couldn't handle it.
I could just picture your face while you were reading this.
I was so angry. So angry constantly because she's picking up their earlier conversation of him explaining why Donna should give him anal for St. Patrick's Day because it was their 2-month anniversary.
Here's the thing.
Do tell.
This is written why she should give him anal.
Yes.
Not, it was, and this was very intentional on Vera's part, I'm sure.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Because it does not say why she should let me give her anal.
Mm-hmm.
It does say why she should give me anal. Now,
Yes.
a man like this is why she should give me anal. No. Why she should let me give her anal is what he intended. I'm going to like this. However, Freudian slip, who knows?
Mm-hmm. So he's thinking, she'd always waved me off in bed, saying something about not liking it, but I did, and she needed to stop being so selfish or this wasn't going to work. You'd think a liberal like Donna would be more giving, considering how much they loved free handouts. I'm so angry. We are on the second paragraph of this book.
Yep.
This is rage bait, and it's working.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you hate him the whole book.
The whole time. I have no sympathy for him the entire time.
Yeah. Also, though, fair point that if she didn't like it and he did, then this is not going to work. That's true.
That's true. If it's a deal breaker for him that he needs his partner to agree to anal, then just break up with her. What the fuck are you doing?
Right. There needs to be compatibility sexually. So sure, his rationale, not great.
Not at all great.
But it is important there needs to be a compatibility in the bedroom. If one person really, really wants anal and the other person is not into it, then you need to decide whether or not that is a full compatibility issue or if it's just a fun little preference.
Yeah, indeed. So the waiter comes to see if anybody needs a refill. He is, quote, some skinny beta-looking guy, and he smiled a little too warmly at Donna. Times like this, I was glad I had a staunch rule about never tipping.
The fact that she made it 2 months with this man.
I know.
No, first date, done.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that obviously she's here to punish him.
Yeah. That's true.
This is not a normal person. This whole time I was like, she should have dumped him. 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 Yeah. What are we still doing here? And then I understood that, in fact, there was logic behind not dumping him. But it's going to get worse before it gets better, listeners, because he continues to think that this waiter is making eyes at Donna. And he thinks, well, he's not going to fuck her. I worked too hard on her. I'd taken her on 6 dates and we'd only fucked twice over the last 2 months, which was crazy. Honestly, I was about ready to cut her frigid ass loose, but if she agreed to anal, I might wait a while to dump her. I want to murder him.
It's not good, but she does such a good job with it.
Oh, he's so hateable. He's just this side of believable. You know what I mean? He's not quite a caricature of a shitty right-wing person. He's
because they're all caricatures now.
I know, they become caricatures of themselves.
But she does say, I'll agree to anal with you if you go first. Indeed. Which we had this conversation with Nick a couple weeks back where he had even said, if a man is pushing for it, you say fine, but you first.
Yeah.
So you know what needs to happen in order for it to be safe So I loved that little addition in there.
And the condition is actually incredible because he's not going to meet it, by the way. She says, if you agree to my pegging you and you don't come, I'll let you try it with me after.
Which, I mean, she knows what she knows, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And so the fuckery continues because she gets her breakfast and starts eating it even though his food isn't out yet.
Which infuriates a quote unquote alpha male.
Yes. He said, I needed a traditional woman anyway. Oh my God.
So he does say, and what the fuck is pegging, Donna? Why do you have to be difficult about this? Now, when I read this last year, I was still a sweet summer child. And I was like, I didn't know what pegging was a year ago.
Yeah, this would be too much if you didn't know what pegging was.
So this was my first introduction to it. It has since come up a lot more in several other books that we've read. However, this I think if I had gotten the intro from any of the other books that we read,
yeah,
things would have been better. But this was a really intense introduction to pegging when you didn't know what it was before. Again, I've grown a lot in the past year, and my worldview has expanded.
Has shifted. Expanded is a better word. Yeah. So Donna calmly explains, it's when a partner uses a harness and a strap-on dildo to penetrate your ass, Tucker.
So then we get the information that he has been watching videos of that exact thing.
Indeed.
And I didn't let her touch my computer or phone anyway. She'd probably get pissed I was still on the Fuego dating app, which is hilarious. Again,
top notch.
Vera
Yes.
knocks it out of the park. So he's got folders buried of exactly that, of porn videos on his computer.
Yes.
But as they do, a man that is not yet confronted himself with anything at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, sexual fantasies, like desire to be dominated. No. This man has not confronted himself with anything at all. You are correct.
And he says, fucking gross. What the hell kind of guy would ever want that? Now, this very much brought me to like high school.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the high school boys of like, immediately going on the defense about absolutely nothing.
Yes.
It very much was like, I don't know, and I was picturing this as an older gentleman the whole time.
Yeah, I was too.
I think the name Tucker.
I mean, were you not picturing Tucker Carlson the whole time?
Was. And I didn't want to use him as a fan cast because I don't want to be put on a list. We're already probably on some sort of list somewhere, but I don't need that in my life right now. So
no, that's fair. That's so fair.
So he keeps calling Randy
Robin.
He calls him Randy at one point. He keeps calling Robin, Randy, Richard. Like, they very much, it's a tactic.
Yes.
Like,
it's negging.
Yeah. It just, so he calls him, and he's not even doing it always out loud. This was a thought he has. The coffee Richard just poured for me was barely tepid.
And we're going to get like one last nail in the coffin of how much we should fucking hate this man, because he glances over
if you've
his
ever
shoulder.
Worked in the restaurant industry.
Yes. A glance over his shoulder shows him that the kitchen staff is clocking out and heading home. That figured nobody wanted to work anymore. We'd come in at 10:40 and the place didn't even close until 11.
Yeah.
A restaurant.
Also, though, the timing doesn't really make sense to me.
Cracker Barrel wouldn't close. I mean, it's possible that they would close at it's possible, actually. They would close at 11 and then reopen at like noon for lunch. Like, but they wouldn't. I feel like they wouldn't close. I feel like the kitchen would close.
But even that, they wouldn't close for an hour. There's not enough of a turnover that needs to be done to go from.
I want to look this up.
Like, they could close at 11 and reopen at 4 for dinner.
Yeah.
But no breakfast place or no restaurant's going to close just for an hour in the middle of the day.
They're not going to fully close. They might stop serving food between they might stop serving fresh food. Like, that's possible. Like, I know that there are some restaurants if they're open on like Saturdays, like they'll stop serving food at like 3 and then start serving dinner at 4 or 5. But like, They wouldn't fully close the whole like store, especially because they have a retail section.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we are getting too hung up on the real world details of this. And instead, we should
Always.
focus on the fact that Tucker is about to realize that Robin has locked them in to the restaurant with him. The only table or people even left in the restaurant.
It is interesting because, well, yeah, again, the real world of it. I need to move on from that. So he
Let it go.
also
Let it go.
has not yet gotten his food,
No,
and he's angry about it.
he is, of course.
So he says, "Hey, Randy, where the hell's my food?" So Robin shows up and says, once again, it's Robin, and naughty boys have to earn their food, Tucker. I didn't like it.
And Tucker's freaked out that he knew his name and looks at Donna, who says, "He's right, Tucker. Sorry, I probably should have mentioned that Robin's an old friend of mine." And like, this is when it gets devious. Like, this is so funny. I loved that all of his worst fears were confirmed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I have thoughts, which we'll get to when all of
Let's
that
go.
comes down to it. So they point to a banner with a leprechaun on it who looks evil. And it says at the bottom of it, "Wish for your heart's desire and get lucky." So she says, Robin overheard Tucker making a wish when we came in. He told me while you were in the bathroom a while ago, probably taking pictures for that Fuego account you think I don't know about.
Love it.
So she's like, "I want you to tell me what your wish was."
Robin moves behind him to hold him down because Tucker makes to leave. And Robin says, "In other words, leprechauns are real, you mediocre disappointment. And we're not here to deliver chalky marshmallows in terrible Irish accents. Now tell Donna what you wished for like a good boy." And you hate this.
I hate it. But also, I think that it comes, again, we've talked about this before, and it's more of a like, fuck the patriarchy thing, that good girl is less of a like
infantilizing phrase.
But also, I think that it's more of a personal preference too, with like the man being in control in that case.
Well, a man is in control here.
That's true. But at this point, he hasn't had his bi-awakening yet.
That's also true. Although he is fucking he's in the process, because when Robin holds him down, he thinks, "My confused, persistent boner jumped at the impact of my ass against the wooden seat, straining against my pants again." So like, he's trying to dismiss
Yeah.
And he's trying to get out of the chair when Robin's fingers dig into his back, a dark chuckle sounding behind me as I yelped in pain. I was about to protest when a plate heaped with hash brown casserole popped into existence in front of me, ceramic clattering loudly on the sticky wooden table. This is wild.
Yeah.
It's going to get so gross.
Yeah. So he's confused because it appeared as if by magic, which I guess it does. He claims, "You must have drugged my coffee."
He also thinks, "Despite my obvious alpha male personality, I tried to avoid any situations I couldn't control. Not only was it necessary for my cred, it was also a forbidden desire I'd never tell anyone about."
I mean, if this is not the truth, I don't know what is. So she's like, "No, I want to know exactly what you wished for." And he's like, I wished for anal. Robin says, "I believe the exact phrasing you used was the anal you deserve." And Donna says, "And Tucker, I think you'll agree that's open to interpretation." Well, it doesn't really matter if you agree or not. You're getting interpreted, fully, deeply interpreted. And she winks and knocks 3 times on the table, and a confusing tangle of bright green leather straps and bright golden buckles appeared mounded over something in the center.
Indeed. Buckle up, dear listeners.
Because this is about to get crazy.
So Donna grabs the center of the mysterious pile and holds it up, shaking out the straps. And then she hikes up her black leather skirt and reveals that she wasn't wearing panties when they went to breakfast, which is a choice in a leather skirt.
I was going to say leather and no barrier is quite the choice.
You could not pay me. Robin still has his hands on Tucker and starts massaging circles against his collarbone. And Tucker is like, it wasn't that I was enjoying a man giving me a mildly threatening, distracted massage while he stared at my half-naked girlfriend with me. I was just stressed. I had a stress erection, that's all. Like,
is that a thing? A stress
erection? I don't know.
So she gets the harness all set, and then he realizes that what the harness was covering up was a dildo. Her new accessory looked exactly like an oversized peg from the game on the table, and if she wasn't currently threatening to bang me with it, I'd almost call it cute. So then we do get consent, though dubious. Robin does say, Bella, we have to, we have to give him the choice.
Yeah. Yep. And she rolls her eyes and says, yeah, I guess. Again, better than he deserves, though. Tucker, you get one chance to wuss out of this before we start, but you'll never see me again if you do. Remember, though, if you don't come while I'm fucking you, you get all this. Everything you want, baby. So what do you say? Are you man enough to take it, Tucker?
I mean, it's coercion.
Oh, for sure. But it's coercion, but it's not like coercion the way that I would normally define it. It's not threat of physical violence.
It's like, not, do this or you don't get what you want.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
sexually.
Yeah.
That feels like a fair trade.
Give and take.
Yes. Balance. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. And he is like still dealing with the fact that he's getting turned on by Robin massaging his shoulders. And says out loud, yeah, I'm no pussy, bring it on. I was just trying to find a weakness in his hold. I definitely wasn't enjoying his proximity no matter what my dick was broadcasting. I couldn't be. I wasn't gay. Bro.
It is just, I mean, sexuality is a spectrum.
It is. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm familiar with the Kinsey scale.
Yeah.
You questioned that for a second. Okay. So
I just can't remember if the Kinsey scale is correct anymore.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think the Kinsey scale is often viewed as outdated because it is too simple, lacks nuance for modern identities like pansexual or asexual, and doesn't account for romantic versus sexual attraction. But
interesting.
The idea of a scale itself is very helpful. Anyway, yes, the Kinsey scale.
So this is very much a man with the black and white thinking of
yeah. Oh yeah. Of
gay
I'm
or
not
straight.
gay, therefore.
It just, the projection, man, was just a lot. And
yes.
Again, unfortunately, I feel like we're seeing so much projection these days that it wasn't a caricature of the individual. It just was.
I know. I know.
And again,
it was too real.
Not all men.
It's not all men, but it's always a man. So while he's having this internal conflict, Robin hauls him out of his chair and frog marches him over to a nearby oversized display barrel. And the barrel has shelves on the inside of it. Robin folds him over the barrel and presses his entire body against Tucker's. Tucker's thinking, It was too intimate, closer than I'd ever been with a man. The desperately horny part of my brain didn't want it to stop, no matter who was actually touching me. Unfortunately, this is where it gets gross.
Yeah, so we get Donna asks, does Tucker want his breakfast? Maybe we ought to let him have it, Robin. So they bring the plate of hash brown casserole over.
Yes.
And Donna sticks the tip of the dildo into the casserole and scoops a little on top of it, which was interesting thinking about a dildo being used as a spoon, essentially.
A spoon. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she says, open wide, Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
Robin says, can't let your breakfast get cold, Tucker boy.
But all of his conflicting masculinity and alpha man bullshit do not stop him from putting the dildo into his mouth like a starving man and gives it an experimental suck, which is interesting. He thinks it isn't unpleasant. Even though my cock ached to fuck something, anything, the physical pressure of the man at my back and the mental pressure of my strapped up girlfriend in front of me was a heady combination I wanted to clutch with both hands.
Now, this is like fine. You're getting this kind of sexual awakening while sometimes you don't know what you don't know until you know it. So
yes.
So sure.
And then we get further consent is requested because Robin clarifies, is that a yes, Tucker? And he says yes multiple times, even though he barely knew what he was agreeing to.
That part I didn't love because, like, informed consent is consent. If you don't know what you're agreeing to, you're not actually consenting to it. So there's that.
This is where the dubious part comes in.
Yes. So Donna steps back and he didn't realize that he had started sucking on the dildo so hard.
Yeah.
And then while she is, I don't know what she's doing, but Robin starts pulling his pants down.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, what are you doing? Donna says he's just making sure you don't get breakfast on your pants, Tucker. You want him to stop. So Donna had made a hole in the hash brown casserole.
Yes.
And now they are putting that hash brown casserole at waist height on one of the shelves of the barrel. And this I didn't like.
Go on.
I'm not opposed to food being used in the bedroom in some ways. Mostly I feel like it's more of a sauces or whipped cream is fine kind of situation.
Yeah, I was going to say whipped cream is the only answer here, I think.
Chocolate sauce?
Too sticky.
Too sticky.
At least I'm consistent.
We've established consistency across the board, I feel like, for both of us, pretty much.
Yep. Food inclinations aside, this really takes the cake.
Takes the casserole.
Takes the hash brown casserole.
So they do again ask for consent for Robin to pull his pants down. He says it's cool, he can. And then naked and vulnerable, the left side of my ass was slightly cold in the dark, empty restaurant. The other side warmer from the nearby giant, showy fireplace. The country barrel kept going in the colder months. My cock bobbed and dipped as it sprang free, thumping against the rough side of the decorative barrel and leaving a smear of pre-cum. That does not sound... I am not a penis owning individual, but that a rough barrel does not sound pleasant.
No.
So Robin's fingers closed around my shaft. I was so hard and so horny I couldn't help but thrust forward a little at the contact. And he starts to stroke him and then gets him set up at the plate, sure.
I suppose, yeah. And he says, there's a good boy, Tucker. Time to really dig into your breakfast.
Oh, So Donna does say, don't worry, baby, I'll use real lube, even though you probably wouldn't have given me the same courtesy.
True.
Crazy. And he doesn't even disagree with her. He's like, well, yeah, it was a dig, but probably a fair one.
Yep.
Gross. Hate that.
Yep.
So she puts on a glove, so this part of it, I was like, oh, okay, Elle will be on board for this. Like, prepping him a little bit.
Yeah. Everything about this was top notch. She starts with one fingertip. She works her way up to 2. She uses lots of lube. All of this is correct.
And then she, at one point, pats his ass and urging his body to fuck further into the hash browns. My makeshift breakfast fleshlight warmed the tip of my cock the way her praise warmed the rest of me.
Yeah. Yep. And then Robin starts to receive head from Tucker.
Yep. Uh-huh.
But first, Tucker has to beg to give him head, which he does. Let me have it, Robin, please. I'll make you feel so good. And Robin says, oh, ho, listen to that, Bella. He can remember my name when he wants to.
So then we get Donna has decided she's done prepping him and it is time for the main attraction. And she tells him, just relax, Tucker. If you tense up, it's not going to be fun. And he thinks fun for who? So Robin says, for every inch you take of her, you get an inch of me, Tucker boy. Open wide now. We're about to turn you into a drive-through, which I didn't really understand. Again, actually, remember how I had said last week or a couple weeks ago, not how the digestive system works?
Yeah.
In this case, it is both ends of the digestive system. So, okay.
It is.
All right. That's fair.
It is. So he's getting Eiffel Towered.
Yeah.
Basically here. Robin says, we've agreed, Tucker. I'll let you swallow if you promise to eat all your breakfast while I fuck your girlfriend.
And he's like, wait, what? And then he thinks, I hadn't even thought about Robin finishing in my mouth, but now it was all I could imagine.
Yep.
And then he thinks, I guess even if I didn't like the taste of him, I could always just eat whatever hash browns hadn't been all over my dick.
Mm-hmm. But he's thinking, I'd become a Tucker I didn't even recognize, one hungry to suck off a strange man in an empty country barrel so he could marathon fuck my girlfriend right in front of me. But as Robin's shaft slid heavily across my tongue once more, it felt too right to question. So while this is happening, Robin says to Donna, now. And Tucker's whole body went electric as the dildo wedged inside his ass started vibrating.
Fantastic.
Top notch. They had no intention of letting him fuck Donna's ass because there was no way he could experience this and not come, which he does.
It says, I came so hard, I almost passed out, fucking and jerking the biggest load of my life into a ruined, cooling pile of hash browns as I loudly gulped down what I'd been given. Yuck.
Oh, yeah. So Tucker is coming down from the best orgasm of his life. And Donna is being nice to him. Hold still for a sec. And she works the dildo out slowly and then says, aw, there we go. You took it like a champ, honestly. I expected a lot of whining, but you were so good. And then they take him into the bathroom, Robin does, to get him cleaned up.
Yes.
And brings him wet wipes.
Aftercare.
Aftercare, yeah. He even put the wet wipes in the microwave for a second so that they wouldn't be frigid, but tells him he's not allowed to clean his face because Robin likes seeing the cum on his face.
Didn't like that. No, I didn't like that at all. Also, you don't need to microwave wet wipes. Hold it in your hand for a second and it'll warm up. Like that is just... Any amount of time in a microwave is too much. It's not.
Anyway, so he cleans himself up. He comes back out and sees the plate of hash brown casserole sitting back at his original table, looking decidedly worse for wear. In the hazy sunlight that made it through the window shades, the messy tunnel that Donna's dildo and my cock had made was clear to see, as were the splatters of cum on the decorative edge of the plate.
Nope. No. So he realizes now that they have pointed ears and sharper teeth. The irises of their eyes are gleaming gold, and their skin is a little bit paler, and something in my lizard brain screamed warning they weren't right.
Yeah.
That's
it's
a
fantastic.
statement.
It's fantastic. I love it so much.
So basically, Robin and Donna are leprechauns. They were on the outs with the rest of their kind, and they prefer granting wishes where they can interpret what the wish actually means.
Bring a little genie energy.
Yes. And she says, "Hope you're hungry. The rules are that if you stop, we stop, and you miss out on the show, don't disappoint me." So she hands him a fork and tells him basically he needs to eat his hash brown casserole while Robin fucks her.
Yep.
Nope. So he does that.
Yes.
And thinks, okay, it wasn't awful. I wasn't going to die from it or something. Honestly, the cooling temperature was more off-putting than anything else. I mean, it's just gonna make it like a little bit more salty, I suppose. So like,
I suppose, yeah.
it's not the worst thing, but it's definitely not good.
Yeah, I agree. But he ends up eating the whole thing.
Yeah.
While we watch a very descriptive scene of Robin fingering Donna and then fucking her. And then he comes inside of her. And after a few seconds, a thick, wet plop of liquid pulled my attention to the floor where a rivulet of molten gold was starting to run into the cracks of the floor. What the hell?
And then he realizes that the gold had come from Robin. The gold come from Robin. Gross.
And then Robin grins and snaps his fingers impatiently at Tucker and says, "Well, are you going to sit there like a gaping idiot or are you going to finish your breakfast, Tucker boy?" And he gestures down at Donna's, quote, "well fucked cunt."
He cleans her up with his tongue. She comes again.
She says, "That was so good, baby. Thank you. You always know what I need." Her voice was velvety with satisfaction, and pride filled me until I realized she was talking to Robin.
And he's like, "I was the one who," and Robin says, "She was thinking of me both times she got off, Tucker, and I was the one who graciously allowed you to not only taste me again, but my gorgeous companion as well. I believe what you meant was thank you, now wasn't it?" Again, all of this made me, like, I don't like the degradation piece of it. And I don't like, I don't know, it just really cemented that I do not have a dominant bone in my body.
You certainly do not. Yep.
Not in the bedroom, anyway.
Yeah.
Or a restaurant, I suppose. So we find out that Donna used to work at the restaurant.
And that she and Robin lived together because Tucker had never been to Donna's apartment. And she says, "Well, why do you think I always came over to your shithole apartment, Tucker? Couldn't exactly bring you back to my place when Robin was usually napping naked in the bed. Don't worry, there's plenty of room for you to sleep with us. At the foot of the bed, of course. You're going to be our live-in pet from now on."
I don't understand why they want to keep him.
Yeah, no, thank you. But he thinks there was no denying what had just happened between us. And if you asked me or my cock, aching though it was at the moment, I'd been into every damn second. So much for being an alpha male.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for because you just might love it. How would you rate this one, Kay?
This is a 1 for me. I mean, I love Vera Valentine. I did not love this. I didn't love it the first time. I was shocked by it the first time. I didn't like it the second time. But again, it's just, I think for me, the big off-putting part of it for me was like teaching somebody a lesson.
Yes.
Kind of thing. And that was the biggest issue for me. Like the ass play, whatever, that's fine. I think it was more so that they were doing it to teach him a lesson. And I don't know, it made me uncomfortable in that, like, why do you get to be the one to teach him a lesson? Or like that this is what you deserve kind of thing.
Yes.
I don't like that. I don't think that everyday regular people should have any kind of control into the, like, you get what you deserve kind of thing.
Yes.
And I think that because it was so much politically relevant, if you will, in terms of like red and blue, left and right kind of situation. Maybe it's the leftist in me to be like, I don't think that I have any right to say what somebody else deserves, despite the fact
Sure.
that I think that they're doing awful things.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I
And I
hear
think
you.
that was the biggest issue for me. Is
Yeah.
like, you can picture it, you can see who any number of men that this could be, and I also don't think I would want to see them in that position, even for heinous things that they might have done or been doing.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that
Yeah.
still is not my.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a 1 for me. What about you?
I agree with you on pretty much everything. I think the idea of using anal as a punishment feels incorrect because it is so prevalent and so much a thing that people should enjoy when they get it. I appreciate it for what it is, though, in that this is a story of rage disguised as erotica. And I think that there is a certain element of schadenfreude, which comes with you experienced a thing that like is kind of your worst nightmare, and worse, you liked it. And that is the thing that scares you the most. And it's like a reckoning for a person who thinks like this, who thinks that they're an alpha male. This is like an erotic horror story more than it is an erotic anything else.
Yeah.
And I think that through that lens, I give it 3 stars.
Wow. Okay.
Like, none of this is okay. This is DubCon. This is really, really fucked up in a lot of ways. I don't like it from an erotica perspective because none of it really works for me. But as erotic horror, it's fantastic.
Okay. All right.
So on that note, how did you cast this one?
So for Tucker, and I don't even know if like as a person he's like this at all. I just he plays a villain in pretty much anything he plays. I went with Christoph Waltz. I mean, he always plays a villain. He's got a very punchable face. I don't
Yes.
know.
I agree
and
with you.
I feel bad saying that about a person because I don't
There's
know
a
if
reason why
actually.
he's typecast as
That's
a villain.
true. Okay, that's fair.
And he's been a Nazi before also. So like,
Oh, he's played a Nazi?
yeah, in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so then I don't feel bad about casting him anymore.
Yeah.
For Donna,
I love this pick.
I went with Emma Stone.
She looks like a leprechaun.
She does look like a leprechaun. She plays a good, and I mean, they kind of are all the villain. There's no like redeeming character in any of them.
No.
She plays a good villain too.
Yeah.
So Emma Stone, Emily Stone, if you will.
Yeah.
But the red hair, she's also got the like, I don't know, she looks like a leprechaun.
You know she's a natural blonde.
No, but that's fantastic. She looks so great as a redhead.
I know.
And for Robin, I went with Cillian Murphy. And I don't know, he just kind of looks like a leprechaun too, but he's Irish, right? So maybe that's why. Maybe he is a little bit of a leprechaun.
I'm sorry, with a name like Cillian Murphy, of course he's Irish.
That's fair.
I don't think you could get any more Irish unless it was like an O something.
That's true. Yeah, he looks like a leprechaun also.
Yeah, he's got that otherworldly kind of fey look to him.
He does. He might actually be a leprechaun. It's
all right. Let's not go throwing around accusations.
At least fey.
Yeah. So, what are we reading next week?
So next week we are back on our bullshit again with Tongue by Adrian Blue. It is pretty much, I think, like you gotta kiss a bunch of frogs to get your prince kind of situation.
That would be my guess.
It is about a frog.
Perfect.
So we'll see we'll see what that ends up being like. I'm not quite sure. I haven't looked into it at all, but there's a giant frog on the cover, so
Can only be interesting.
I mean, it can't be worse.
You say that.
That's true.
Be careful.
Be careful what you wish for, okay?
You just might love it.
Yeah. That is the last line of this book.
I know.
Have you been reading anything else lately?
No, absolutely not. I've been busy. I've had too much going on, and unfortunately, it took out everything I had to get through these 46 pages.
That is fair.
How about you?
No, I haven't. I did download Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Everybody's been talking about that recently.
That's
it's had a
why I
resurgence.
downloaded it. Have you read it before?
The internet is divided. No, I've never read it, but I've seen like people on both extremes of like, this is the best thing ever and this is the most toxic thing I've ever read.
Okay.
So I'll be curious to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, that it's on my TBR. Otherwise, though, I mean, I did just watch Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Snakes? Yeah. Okay. The Hunger Games like prequel.
Yes, which I know
I
came out a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
So I know that that's not reading, but I was reading the Haymitch.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Suzanne Collins kills it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The world, but
well, if you've made it this far, thank you.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, tell your friends, leave a comment, and with that,
we're at our wits' end.
we'll see you next time.